So let's take a look at how we could round corners nicely. So let's say this is a square and a small corner of the square I would like to round. So what I will first do is kind of decide the amount of rounding. Okay, so there and there. From the vanishing point, another line, there. Perfect. So straight line, start of my rounding, end of my rounding, straight line. Again, to help understanding the thirds, maybe make a diagonal so it's maybe a little bit easier to kind of maybe guess the thirds. Okay. And then from this point through here to there, we can draw now actually an arc. And I will use the ellipse tool quickly for this. There, scale this one down and up. A little bit bigger and smaller. Yeah, maybe more like this. Okay, so there is maybe my arc. Zip. Okay, perfect. Now I would like to actually construct a cube that looks like the front corner is rounded. So in this case here, I will just draw some lines up and there. And let's go to the vanishing point there. And let's see maybe how big I would like that to be so I don't overlap other lines. Let's say maybe there to there. Yep, looks good. Okay. And let's maybe bring this line back to there. And then from there to there, another line. So there's one issue with my drawing right now. As you can see already, all these lines have a somewhat similar line weight, so it's difficult to read. That is actually a perfect showcase example why I try to tell you when you draw with pen and paper, always try to really make use of line weight. Construction lines, thin pressure, and more important lines, we ink harder. So what I will do actually right now is I will just go ahead and mark myself some of these lines that are important with a significant amount of more pressure, so it's easier to read. And dang, look at that. It looks so much better already because your eye doesn't go WTF. Okay, good. Now, I rather would say what the heck, because I drew a terrible line there. Makes it much easier to read. Okay, so now how do we continue? How do we project actually this rectangle and these edges actually on the top? Well, a very simple trick. So from where this arc cuts actually the lower edge, we simply draw gently a straight line up. And here we do the same. And you see, there we found these points. And again, the rule in 2-point perspective drawing is all vertical lines are straight up and down. They don't foreshorten, which makes them the easiest lines to draw. And then from there to there, we can, for example, draw this rectangle. So we find actually this rectangle on the top face. Okay. See, simply projecting these lines up. And then I can go ahead and try to see maybe what type of rotation I need for here. And difference will be, as you can see now, that the more this ellipse gets closer to the horizontal line, the flatter actually it will look, because technically speaking, it gets onto the eye line. And the more it goes away from the horizontal line, so the more it goes down, the more we can actually see the object from the top. And basically, there is now our basic cube with a rounded edge. And let's mark this a little bit more so it's easier to read. There, maybe there. Okay, perfect. No, that wasn't too bad. Now this was kind of easy peasy. Let's try to make it a little bit more challenging. I actually would like this complete upper edge to be rounded as well. Now what I will do, I will create myself some additional rectangles, and you will quickly notice that I work with a lot of construction rectangles. So you see that I actually continued this line to the vanishing point till it hit actually the back line. And then there now I can draw a line up, because this point I transferred over to this edge, and then I went straight up to this edge, because then there I can actually put an arc in. And here, if I follow this line, I have already the other line there, so I can draw a line straight up. There is the other line. Perfect. So let's bring back our ellipse template. We'll rotate this a little bit, and to make this a little bit quicker, I will just put some quick maybe roughly like this. So this is not 100% correct, but I'm simply skipping the step with the 1/3, because I would like to quickly show you what you have to look for. So there is the other one. Okay, so number 1, number 2, and check this one out. We also actually have a rectangle here, so there's another construction plane. So there and there is one plane, and there is the line, so one rectangle. And we also have another squarish rectangle there. There, perfect. No? So all I need to do now is actually project the arcs in there. And let's quickly do this. So let's go to there. Zip. And let's rotate it so it looks roughly okay, like there. There. Good. Last thing that's missing is actually we have now a new object line, which is actually there. Now I will use a lot of pressure, so you will later see the new contours of that object. There. We also have a line down here. We have a line down there. Okay, good. And let's bring back the ellipse. This is actually on my object, so I will not ink it very strongly. Here we have this arc, and then this is actually a contour line defining our object border, so that gets more strength. And there. And then we also have the one down here. There. Perfect. And to totally finish this, let's say this is actually a cube where we rounded those 3 edges. So this edge, and the vertical corner edge. We actually will maintain the back edge. Okay, and that's basically everything you need to know about it. So again, to wrap this up, to create rounded corners is actually very, very easy. All you really need to work with is small construction planes, because you can see here is one, let's use green, here is one construction plane. We also have here one on the ground. We also have here one. We also have here one. And you see that all these lines for these construction planes actually meet each other, because again, for example, the front 3 construction planes define a cube, a volume. And then kind of like this line, this, and this, that defines another cube. So when you take a bigger cube, you project smaller cubes in, because when you have a smaller cube, you have kind of like a nice face onto which you can construct a quarter circle, so which is basically like an arc. And this is all what we needed to do to give you the feeling of rounded edges.